sponsored by Squarespace. On December 25th, 2023, I released a video on Steven Seagal and his Orientalist exploit.
Unless you have emptiness and complete calm, the butterfly will leave.
In my contempt for the man, I came out much more angry than usual.
Flashback.
Bitch ass bullshit. Piss on top of a shit Sunday. Fucking ass.
End of flashback.
The comments saw that as a signal for entertainment, and so viewers began making fat jokes. I'm certainly not innocent. I called the man a donut hole, which wasn't intended to be a fat joke but nevertheless came off as one. In the spirit of fairness, let's talk about why it's so tempting to make fun of his obesity and why it is not okay to do so. I can't believe I'm defending him, but yes, I'm sorry. Let's not fat shame Steven Seagal. Admittedly, Steven Seagal is a tempting target. Despite being a martial artist and an action star, the man is always sitting, constantly out of breath, and speaks like one of his lungs has collapsed.
So she's trying to write fire. That's the tribal sign.
Yet he always plays some chick magnet. The absurdity is laughable and creepy. If I ever do that, I'd expect others to laugh at me too. Do unto others, right? But would I actually accept being laughed at? I've been living in Montreal for the majority of my life, yet here I am still speaking with a foreign accent. I can barely speak French, and after 5 years of doing YouTube, I still narrate like ass. In fact, more than a few people think this channel is narrated by AI. It does not feel good to be mocked. We see fatness as a personal failure, something that spawns from gluttony and can be fixed through hard work. In reality, there are a myriad of factors behind obesity, many of which are beyond one's control. Seagal may have some form of hormonal disease. Maybe it's the side effect of antidepressants. Even if his obesity came from food consumption, he may be battling some form of addiction. The bottom line is, we don't know his circumstances. Likewise, you don't know why I speak like this either. I may well have a speech impediment, or maybe I'm also on antidepressants. This is the result of empathizing with the symptoms but not the root cause. Another example would be mocking young people for having no attention span. We see that as a personal failure of a generation when in reality they are victims of an environment. The same personal responsibility mindset also affects our view on homelessness and poverty. We make fun of them because we fail to see the circumstances surrounding their issues. But Yang, I hear ask, he's an actor. He gets paid to stay in shape. If he can't do his job right, shouldn't he quit? To that, I say, it would be admirable if he does, but I can see why he doesn't. Put it this way, if some jackass want to pay 5 grand for a stick figure you scribbled, would you say no? I'll take your 5 grand in a heartbeat. You know what's okay to make fun of? StevenSeagal.com. It's so dated, just like the man. I know I made fun of it before, but seriously, with Squarespace, there is no excuse. Squarespace offers award-winning templates and an intuitive editing system. With numerous detailed tutorials and 24/7 customer support, anyone can make a modern and professional website. Best yet, you can make your website while remaining seated the entire time. Truly a miracle of modern technology. With that, Seagal can advertise his upcoming movies, make a blog about his religious pursuit, show up his musical endeavor, and even sell some merch. If you need it, there's a tool for it. Start your free trial at squarespace.com/accidentalcinema. Use the code accidentalcinema and you can get 10% off your first purchase. It's time to catch up with the times. Visit squarespace.com/accidentalcinema and start your new website today. There's another joke that goes hand in hand with fat-shaming Seagal. Fighting in a chair. The meme has been parodied endlessly, and is often interpreted as evidence of his laziness. Seagal doesn't even want to stand up, no wonder why he's fat. In reality though, This is a decent fight. Yes, I just said that. To be fair, the bar for Seagal is low. This fight from Above the Law, for example, is filmed way too close to his face and hardly shows off Seagal's physicality. It's about the brutality of the character, not the movement or the combat. The same problem is in Hard to Kill, and it's also in Under Siege. Back then, Hollywood just didn't know how to make a martial arts movie. In contrast, this infamous fight from Out for a Kill has actual choreography and rhythm. Not to mention, he stands up right after anyway. Fighting while seated is a kung fu cliché. It is used to demonstrate the master's prowess. It's surprisingly difficult to perform. Without the full range of movement, it's hard to convey power. Yet, Seagal's form is mostly on point, and so is his doubles. Yes, the man does sit a lot. Sometimes he sits through an entire movie. But this particular instance isn't a sign of laziness. It was a deliberate choice in choreography, one that is done better than most of his other stuff. So, does that mean I like Seagal? Ha! No. But that question is a trap anyway, as it paints a simplistic black and white worldview. Let's ask another question. Why don't people fat shame Sammo Hung? Maybe because he makes good movies? Indeed, even in his senior years, Sammo remains dedicated to the art of cinema, tirelessly promoting the Hong Kong film industry. With such dedication, Sammo's way can't possibly be a personal failure. Sammo earned our respect. In contrast, Seagal's movies can only be found while dumpster diving. Not to mention, he lies, boasts, cheats, and also has several sexual assault allegations. The public has no more respect left for him, so the internet goes open season on insults, mocking everything about him, including his weight. When we dislike someone, everything they do becomes wrong. Instead of judging something by its merit, we judge it by whom it is attached to. Jack Black is fat and endearing, Seagal is fat and disgusting. Ironically, this is the mindset that fueled Orientalism. As explained by Dr. Samiha Agamdi, the image of the veiled women used to be lustful, in comparison to the purity of Western white women. Following 9/11, the discourse shifted. The same veiled women are now seen as oppressed and needed to be liberated like Western white women. The value judgment is cast based on what is assumed to be good or bad. In this case, the West is always good. The prejudicial attitude blinds us to the nuanced reality. When dealing with an individual like Seagal, we decide we don't like him, so we make fun of him, and then justify our actions by calling him lazy. When dealing with a group of people, we do the same. We cast judgment on the people and find excuses to justify our superiority. It's prejudice. You know why some people make fun of fat people for going to the gym? Because they don't like fat people. Therefore, everything they do must be bad, even if what they are doing is losing weight. That's the final reason as to why we should judge actions, not people. Do not punish good deeds from people you don't like. Do not reward bad deeds from people you do like. As much as I don't like Steven Seagal, my contempt for him has nothing to do with his weight. I take issue with his exploitative approach to Asian culture, and the objection should not be muddled. So, no, let's not fat shame Steven Seagal. Let's call him out on what he does, not who we think he is.